Hello. Welcome to the stream. We just started it. If this is your first time in this stream, please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to click on our stream. Move over here. It can be more like this. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We just got started. Well, thank you. My favorite food? Ooh, that's a tough one. Hello, Bunny Claire. Probably sushi. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you. My most favorite of my guns is probably my AK. Diet Mike. Also, Mike. I don't know who that is, but thank you. Hi. Welcome to our stream, everybody. We just started. We're doing an open forum kind of discussion. Ask any questions that you want. You can ask anything about my guns. You can ask, do I look like a robot? That's cool. I'll take that as a compliment. I don't. I have a 6.5 Creedmoor. One of my ARs is a 6.5 Creedmoor. My favorite gun is my AK-47 right here. I do like airsoft. I think airsoft is great. Bring the Pete 49. Welcome to my channel. Here's a shout out. I have cats and dogs. No, none of my firearms are automatic. Jesus, that's awesome. That is awesome. I don't have a 50. One of my subscribers who comes in a lot, he has a 50 cal. I do cybersecurity. I do cybersecurity for a living. I don't know what the answer to that, Joshua. What the answer to that is, Joshua. What kind of ammunition? I have lots of ammunition down in my boxes. So I like to hunt moose and caribou. I'm from Alaska. Believe me, Sam, it's on the list of things. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, how's it going? Yep, this is actually our channel mascot. This is Snecky. He's I don't reload. I don't reload. Okay, Joshua, that's funny in so many ways, and I'm not offended by it, and I hope you aren't, since you told it. That's really great. No, this is a stuffed animal snake that my youngest daughter gave me, and because she knows that I like the Gadsden flag, so she gave me a stuffed animal version of the Gadsden flag snake. You probably could find someone's IP address through YouTube. There's easier ways than doing it than that. So, I think it's supposed to be a coral snake. This one. I have a 6.5 Creedmoor and a 5.56 Al Bob. So my favorite NFL team, probably the Arizona Cardinals. I have a friend who used to play for the Cardinals, a friend from high school. I have not been to Pasadena. I have been to San Diego lots of times, and the Capitol. Your dog got a Glock? Technically, my dogs have 3 Glocks. I don't own a 1911, Uncle Sam. Darren College. He went to Boise State University, got drafted to the Green Bay Packers, and then moved to Arizona and played for the Cardinals when he got traded. So he and I went to high school together. And we played football together in high school. Yeah. That is about the extent of my my football my football knowledge. I don't really follow football that much. I'm sorry, I just outed myself. Ptarmigan bird? Yeah, ptarmigan are in Alaska. They change colors during the summer. So, oh, Uncle Sam. No, I've been shooting for 35 years, Jadon. I know a little bit about shooting firearms. So my video, I posted a bunch of videos yesterday and today, some shorts, and I took my two teenagers to the gun range, and I got them to start shooting too. So it's been a while since they've been to the range, so it was a lot of fun. My daughter. Your uncle has I have three. So 3 ARs right over here. I cannot touch the firearms. It's against YouTube policies. So, but I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have about them. They're real. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Thinum Delicious. We can't sing like happy birthday song because it's copyrighted and they'll shut off my stream. So, and I don't want to pay the copyright for it. So, I do this. I talk about being a parent, and you know, I just try to be a good parent. There are some people that don't like that I have when I teach my kids about guns, and yeah, and then I stand up things that are like against woke kind of stuff. So some people think I'm a bad dad. So that's why my name's called Below Average Utah Dad. So Silas, my favorite gun of all my guns is my AK right here. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate it. I'm glad everybody's having a good time and asking questions. It's really fun when we get lots of people asking questions and talking with each other. I try to answer as many questions and try to make gun not seem so scary. What kind of AR-15 do you got, Jesus? So let's see. Did I miss anybody's questions? I'm not monetized, so I don't have supers. You just talk to me and I try to answer the questions the best I can. So if it goes really fast, sorry, ask your questions. I'll answer them, I promise. So Jesus has an AR-15, everybody. Your shotgun? Yeah, I actually have, you can't see it, it's kind of tucked away, but right here, this is an old Remington pump action shotgun. It's 12 gauge. And then I have another one upstairs in the house that I keep in my upstairs. But I also have 3 pistols right here. 1, 2, and 3. So I have 3 Glocks. And actually this AR with the red sight, it's 9mm. It uses Glock magazines. So all 4 of these guns use the same magazines. And I built all 6 of the guns on the table. The 3 ARs and the 3 Glocks. I built those myself. So, but yeah, so that's what it's channel. You guys can come in. You can ask me questions about my guns. You can ask me questions about guns in general. If you're looking at buying a gun, like I think that that is also on the list, Uncle Sam. I have a huge list. So I have about 2,000 subscribers, and they're all like super excited, and they're giving me ideas and stuff. So Nicholas, that's actually one of the things I figured somebody would ask about. I've shot lots of P20s and I've never had a problem with them. I'm in the military and never ever had one do anything crazy on me, and I've shot them. So I don't know if that's because it's one that SIG makes for the military. My newest gun is technically my AK. I've only had it since Christmas. It was my Christmas present, but it's also like almost 40 years old. So it's also one of my older guns. So kind of makes match. Otherwise, it's my 3 Glocks. My 3 Glocks are the newest. So yeah, cool. I don't know. Probably shotgun. What kind of shotgun do you have, Silas? I have a St. Victory Spring and a cheaper one. What upper receiver do I have? Okay, so on my 3 ARs, I have an Anderson upper and lower. I have a Davidson Defense upper and an Aero Precision lower. And then big gun, my 6.5 Creedmoor, that's an AR-10. It is an Aero Precision upper and lower. So when you build it yourself, it's not too bad. You can usually pay a lot less if you're willing to do the work yourself. So any of you that are interested in like ARs and you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want like maybe not like an entry level one, something more mid level, but you want to pay entry level prices, build it yourself. No, not quite. I got a mortgage and I got 2 teenagers that are driving. Hey, Frogger, what's going on, bud? So, Frogger, everybody, is one of my regulars. So, if I miss your question, if I don't answer somebody's question, if you could do your best to try to answer it, you know enough about the channel, just kind of help me kind of regulate the crowd. We got a big crowd tonight, and I'm really excited. So, one of my cats is upstairs crying. I think she found out we have stuffed mice. So, oh, you watched that video? That's good. That's good. The Rip It video. My son and I did a video with this empty can. He drank it, and it was his idea to make the video, but he drank it, and I didn't realize it, and we made a video on it. It was pretty fun. Yeah, everybody. So if you like content like this, if you like creators like myself, please reach out and like and comment, share. If you want to subscribe, you can. That would be awesome. But even if you're just here for like a couple minutes, making a comment, whether you agree with me or whether you don't, if whatever you want to do, but that helps content creators like myself. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate it. Everybody that subscribes gets a thumbs up. We also have some really cool things. Like like I said, I'm not monetized. It'll be cool if that happens, but I do have some stuff. I've got some really cool maps like on the wall. These are military maps that I'll be giving away once I get monetized to my subscribers. I'm also doing a special thing for my subscribers that join our Discord. You can post a picture of yourself with one of your firearms. It can be Nerf, it can be airsoft, it can be real, and you're going to be featured. I'm going to make a short called Meet My Subscribers, and so any of my subscribers that are okay with being in one of my shorts, I'll do a slideshow and we'll all vote on whatever song you want it to be. Oh, that's awesome, Frogger. Your alligator came in. Sung, hi, how's it going, bud? Welcome to our stream. Maddie, I am in the Air Force. What's my favorite camo pattern? Ooh, so when I first joined the military, we had the BDU style. There's the Forest BDU is something that's near and dear and special to my heart. So I really like the Forest BDU. Yeah, Silas, who built your was in the Army? That's cool. Cool. Was he infantry? Was he like armor? I have several, like one of my brothers, 2 of my brother-in-law. They've all been in the Army. A cousin of mine is a colonel in the Army. Like I have I have a strong military heritage in my family. That is where's Maddie? There you go, Maddie. Frog is your Mr. Moneybags. Sorry, I'm streaming on my iPad and I'm reading the chat on my computer screen and my iPad. So, wow, this is really cool. We had like 40 people on here. We've lost a few streamers, but I hope they didn't leave because I didn't answer their question. I'm trying to really through everybody's questions and talk to them. This is actually my favorite kind of interaction. You guys ask questions and I get to talk to you, and then you guys can ask me stuff. That's really cool, Manny. That's really cool. My wife's brother was, hey Dean, how's it going? Welcome to our stream. My wife's brother was he was a Green Beret, so he did some cool stuff. I probably am not gonna do that. Where's my band? Where's my Ranger band? I'm not a Ranger. I'm in the Air Force. So, but I can answer lots of questions. I have a tab that says regular. It just says regular guy on it. That's all. Because I'm just a regular military dude. Where's the pace counters? When is my next year? So we do a stream almost every night. We open it up for people to come in. We talk about guns. We talk about politics. We talk about parenting. Talk about all kinds of stuff. Whatever you guys want to talk about is what we talk about on my stream. And I leave my stream light. That way people that are not here in the US, people that are in Europe or in Asia, that they can come on the stream and they can take part in it too. I also have a Facebook page, an Instagram page. I'm on X, Discord, so you can reach out to me. Hey, don't feel like you have to stay, but I don't want anybody to feel like they have to stay. If you have a question that you wanna throw our way, you can throw it into the Discord. You can throw it onto the Facebook page. Whatever you want to do. That's my job in the Air Force. So I do computer stuff in the Air Force, Dean. I'm a computer guy in the Air Force, but because computers are used in so many things now, we get to do a lot of really cool things. It's not just a tech support guy. There's drone stuff, there's long range communication, there's encryption. A lot of the new the newer airplanes, they all use computers to do stuff. So if you do stuff in the Air Force, there's a chance you could do any one of those things. I was actually in charge of cybersecurity overseas a little over a year ago. Josh, what's going on, bud? So I helped with a lot of stuff that was going on there, and it was a lot of fun. It was a cool experience. We got to do some really cool operations with the Army and the Navy, and like Canada and Australia and Germany, and so we got to do things with a whole bunch of other countries where I was. So it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. Let's see, who else? You forge knife making? I don't would like to get into forging. I have so much that I do already between my regular job and this job that YouTube doesn't pay me for, and being a parent. And then I also have a business that I do on the side, and my wife works. My wife has a business on the side. We're very busy at this house, so that's why my stream always, it's like 10:30 here in Utah, and it's always early. We always start the stream really late, but that's why I do shorts, because shorts are really easy. So if again, there's like 14 people on here, this is really great. If you like this kind of stuff, you like guns, you like talking about parents, like politics, military stuff, please check out my other videos. I've got one called "This Is the Place" that I encourage everybody to go check out. It's kind of like the welcome video, and subscribe to the channel if it's something that you're into. It's Dog Woman 55. What's your favorite caliber rifle for military use? Well, the military only has the Air Force only has one caliber rifle that everybody now, and that's a 5.56. So the 5.56 is my favorite rifle that the military uses. So, but yeah. So I've gotten to do a lot of different things. No, I'm glad that's cool. Welcome, by the way. Welcome to our. It's fun having people on here. What did Maddie ask? Sorry. He asked about forging. If you want knives, I have over 50. Oh, yeah. I do have some knives. I have one knife that someone got me. It's a forged Damascus knife, and then I have a Benchmade knife. And then I've got a lot of multi-tools because I always like to have a multi-tool on me because I never know when I might need a knife or pliers or a screwdriver or whatever. So I try to stay pretty prepared for things. I'm a big supporter of it for all kinds of things. I actually don't like throwing knives. I like throwing hatchets and throwing axes. I'm pretty good at throwing hatchets and throwing axes. I am not good at throwing knives or ninja stars at all. Not even remotely. But axes and hatchets I can throw. Those I can throw. With gusto. Oof. Oof. Pretty good at those. You have marine throwing knives? That sounds tedious. I don't know that I would. I don't know that I could. I don't know that's my thing. Maybe like just a single or Dog Woman 55. All of these are mine. Everything you see back here, these are all real and they're all mine. So I've built everything on top of the desk. I rebuilt this AK, and the other two are family that were passed down to me. So, our stream. They're running away. Oh, I didn't answer their questions in time. I'm sorry. Nick left us, and Jesus left us, and Uncle Sam left us. That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, I'm glad you think that's cool. I think it's pretty cool too. So let's see who all do we still have in the stream. Hey, if you're in the stream and you are actually like really here or you want to ask a question, please use the chat, ask a question, and I will answer it. I promise. I'm not monetized. I don't do supers, and I try to incorporate everybody. I really like talking to you guys in the chat. If you think that there's someone you know might be interested in joining our chat, share the stream, and we'll bring them in and we'll get them included. Dog women, that depends on the platform. On all my Glocks, I have about a 2.5 pound trigger pull. I've put custom triggers in them, and on my ARs, it's something a little bit different. A 9mm AR is about a 4-pound trigger pull. My AR-10, that's 6.5 Creedmoor, my long range rifle, that one is about 6. I want that a little bit heavier. And then my regular AR, just my 5.56 AR, is sitting at about 3 as well. So, and my AK-47 is super light. It's like 2. Like I said, I have a bunch of videos I posted yesterday and today. I actually have a really long video that's a full range day with my 2 teenagers that went live today. You guys can feel free, it's a long video, but we do a lot of shooting. I do a lot of instruction. If you're new to guns and you want to get like some exposure to what that's like, go check that out. I think it's somewhere between like 25 and 45 minutes long. I apologize that it's really long. But it was a lot of fun, and you get to see kind of how quickly people can build up their confidence using firearms. He saw you drawing your gun, but want to keep you. Are you talking about right now, like on the stream, Frogger? Hey Joel, what's going on, bud? Hey, thanks for your comments, Joel. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you were supportive and not super critical. So I really appreciate that. Like I like getting feedback when in our 2A community. For those of you that don't know, sometimes there are people that get on and they get overly critical, but that's not always the best way to approach things. And that's how I don't like to approach that. That's why I like to open the door and let people join in and ask questions. I want people to, even if they don't support like gun ownership, I want them to ask questions so that I can at least help them understand more about guns. So the video where I do 45 days for drawing, why don't I keep it on my waist? It was I had it right underneath me. I was holding it right here on this side. I thought I did. Yeah. So it took me a long time to get comfortable wearing that because I'm a little, you guys see in my video, I'm a little nickly in the middle. I'm in pretty good shape. I just carry all my weight right here in my midsection. And it does not matter what I do, short of starving myself. No, it's on a holster. It was definitely in a holster that was attached to my belt, but no, that's a good question. There are some people that don't carry a holster. I carry striker fire pistols, so I like to cover the trigger up since that's my safety, and I cherish those parts, like all parts of my body. But there's some pretty critical ones right around my waist that I would rather not get hurt. So yeah, no, I really appreciated things you said, Joel. So yeah, if 3 o'clock carrier 38 special. Hey, there's a guy that normally comes into our chats that really likes 38 special. No, listen to the intro. remember the basics. They in a concealed carry class, they should go over like some of the laws for your state and for a couple of other states. But yeah, just listen to the instructor. Like most of the time, like concealed instructors, they're going to be more knowledgeable about like your rights as a concealed carry holder and firearms in your state than even a lot of police officers will. Police officers are more in tune to like like laws that they're going to run into more often because it's only like a half a percentage of concealed carry license holders that ever break laws. So when I get a pistol, I want a 357 SIG. 357 SIG's pretty cool. It's it's a little bit more niche now, but it's a cool round. Like if you can learn to shoot, you can find good deals on the ammo. It's a pretty fun round to have. Um, I think 357 SIG's pretty cool. I don't own any 45s, but I like 45. I actually have looked at getting like a Glock 30, which is like a super compact Glock 45. I think it holds like 10 rounds, um, but it's a pretty cool little 45. I think everybody that has a collection like what I have, I think everybody should have a 1911. But I've had so many requests since starting this YouTube page and it really kind of blowing up. So this YouTube page is they're a little rated, honestly, Josh. They're a little bit overrated. Um, I have owned a 10 millimeter, Maddie. 10 millimeter is so much fun. It's like a way faster, little bit bigger version of 9 millimeter. Um, People talk about 10 millimeter and Wesson are very similar. They're the same diameter, but 10 millimeter is so much faster and has so much more power behind it. It's a really fun route. Hey Betta, welcome in. Hey, Betta, you definitely need to check out Timber Lodge and um, Spartan Defense Armory, and go to the Facebook page. If you don't have it, go to X because there's all the information about Denver. So the stuff that's going on tomorrow. So you need to go get involved in that. If there's anybody here from Colorado, like there's some things that are happening in Colorado related to the Second Amendment, and I highly recommend if you aren't aware of what's going on, please speak up. I'm happy to answer questions and talk about it. There's laws that are getting passed, and they're trying to basically make it so that you can't purchase any semi-automatic firearm, and they're changing the laws to how you can buy ammunition. Like Colorado is really trying to turn the way that you own and the right to bear arms worse even than what it is in California. Yeah, so I know Teddy at Spartan Defense Armory. I know Alicia Garcia, the Boomstick Babe. She's on the Second Syndicate. She does a lot with Spartan Defense Armory, and I'm getting to know the folks at Timber Lodge, or Great Timber Lodge in Colorado. So I've made some good relationships with those folks. I wrote them a letter today with some information breakdown, like a testimony for them to use if they want. As someone who lives in Utah, I posted the letter on my X account and tried to tag as many people as I could. So there's a lot going on, and it's always the precursor to an infringement on other rights, and it's awful and it's terrible, and it's the people that are doing it. They think they're doing it in a place of concern for citizens, but really what they're doing is they're making it harder and harder for regular everyday people to take care of themselves. And like nobody talks about this, and I talk about it in my letter, it really puts undue pressure and strain and requirements on good police officers and good law enforcement officers, because it refuses to let regular everyday citizens be able to protect themselves. So that burden is on law enforcement officers. So they already have to pull people over. They already have to like respond to domestic violence situations, or intoxicated people situations, or theft and things like that. And then for legislators to say, well, you can't go out and buy this type of firearm, and we're going to make it harder to buy a firearm, we're going to make it harder to buy ammunition. What they're saying is you have to rely on the police. And then they use things like, the reason we're doing that is because this firearm is so dangerous, it can empty this many rounds in just 3 seconds. And then you bring up the argument, say, well, then why do you want us to rely on police officers that might be more than 3 seconds away? Why can't I protect myself? Why can't I protect my family? And so I bring that up, and I know that there are going to be people that don't like that, but that's the way that it is. I mean, it's a very elitist and very it's a really elitist and tyrannical. It's just the best word that I can use. It's them saying we already get that protection. We in politics. We have private security. We have guns around us all the time. We work in the Capitol building. We have Capitol Police. We have all these things. So they're safe all the time. But regular people don't get that luxury, and they don't care because it doesn't affect them. And so if it doesn't matter, and I talk about this, I'm in Utah. It doesn't directly affect me, but it can. That kind of policy and that kind of way of thinking, that type of ideology can spread, and it spreads quickly. It's spread in New York. It's in other states on the East Coast. It's in Washington, D.C. It's in Chicago. It's in most of Illinois. It's all over Oregon and Washington and California. Later, Frogger. Good luck. Have fun in your class, bud. And so those kind of ideas, they spread. And again, I understand what the motivation behind it is. Yes, Colorado has had terrible shootings and things it's awful, but those things still happened in gun-free zones. They still happened where there were assault weapons bans. They have red flag laws, and there were still people that purchased firearms with red flag. Making it harder for people that believe in law and order and want to obey the law and be good citizens is not going to make them safer. Because the people that want to break those laws, the people that want to hurt other people, they already don't. They're willing to go out and hurt people. They want to hurt people, which means that the sanctity of life, the concept of the worst law, there are criminals that are out there that are like, yeah, I'll go to the store, I'll steal something if I need to get by, but I don't want to hurt anybody. These people skipped all of that, and they're saying, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to hurt people. So making it harder for good people to protect themselves and putting more strain and requirements on law enforcement is unfair to both law enforcement and to regular everyday citizens. The only people laws like that protect are the people that are just going to buy anyways, that don't care. They're not going to go get a license to have a semi-automatic weapon. They're not going to obey gun-free zone laws. They're not going to constrain themselves to only using firearms that are below what law enforcement has. They don't care. And so to them, it's just a way to empower them to be able to do the things that they want to do, to oppress regular everyday citizens, to hurt people, to take advantage of them. And that doesn't even bring to what it does for, for young people, especially for young women. I have 2 daughters. That's why I took my older daughter out to go shoot. My daughter knows how to shoot a little bit. She's been out shooting. I don't want my daughters to not be able to protect themselves, because men there are bad people in this world. There are bad men, there are bad women, but men inherently are stronger and more violent and more capable of doing harm. And I don't want that to happen to my daughters. And so I teach them what it means to be empowered and what it means to protect themselves. That's one of the reasons why I'm called the below average Utah Tad, because some people say that, that I should teach my daughters to be, less, to be more accepting of men wanting to participate in their sports, or to, that empowerment is teaching them how to stand up to things. Hey, Uncle Sam, how's it going? Welcome back. But but not teaching them to use violence. Like if if you've ever heard any of the testimonies of women who've been in um, different assault situations where they have been assaulted of any kind, it's not like the person was really kind to them. It's not like they gave them flowers and like was gentle and caressing. They were violent. And so I am a firm believer that like the moment you believe that you're right to control someone, especially as a man trying to control a woman, you forfeit your right uh, to control. In fact, the extent of if you continue to be violent, you're going to forfeit your right to live. And I especially feel that way for women. So I'm a firm believer that the Second Amendment is a way to empower women. And when people attack the Second Amendment, what they're saying is we don't care about women being able to protect themselves. It's an attack on women. And as I said, a father of daughters, that makes me very upset. Um, most of my cousins are girls, and I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest cousin in my family on both sides. I'm the oldest male, and so I am very protective of my family, my extended family, my immediate family. Um, and this is just one of those things that I see legislation. I see people attacking these ideas. Sorry, I'm rambling. I don't want to take over the chat. I want you guys to ask me questions. I want you guys to tell me your thoughts, tell me your feelings. Um, if you want to know about like if you're a man or woman and you're interested in purchasing a firearm for personal defense, I again, I have 35 years of experience shooting and carrying firearms and doing things. Well, not 35 years carrying a firearm. I have 3 years of carrying a firearm. Sorry, I want to make sure that I'm being honest with people. But I have 35 years of carrying firearms, of using firearms and shooting firearms and doing marksmanship and hunting and all spectrums of the two-way community. And so I'm more than happy to answer questions, to give advice. You can use it. You can live it. That was a smart move, bud. That's the way to do it. My wife doesn't really shoot. She's actually I've taken her out probably 10 or 15 times, and we've been married almost 20 years, like once a year, just about once a year. She's very, very good and capable of it. It's just not her thing. But she knows enough that if something happens, she knows to protect our family and how to shoot. She is most proficient with my AR, so that's what she would probably use, or one of my handguns. So, one of the ones you don't see behind me, or whatever. Sorry, I also, just fair warning, I also super ADHD and have a fair amount of the tism. So like I tick and I move and I can't like sit still and just yeah. But sorry, as I said, I've been kind of rambling. So do actually, there's 9 people in the chat. Do we have any ladies in the chat right now? Is it all dudes, or do we have some ladies in the chat? If it's all ladies, or if it's all dudes, do you have anyone that is a lady that you think might be open to having a conversation with someone who's like, I consider myself politically a constitutional conservative, so I'm not a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm not an independent. I am very much like, what does the Constitution say and what is best for the people of this nation, like as an individual. So I try to cater my thoughts and my feelings to that. I have rabbits, Silas. I haven't in a long time, but I do really like rabbit. When I hunt rabbits, I recommend using a 22, just because it's really simple. It won't do much damage to your meat. You don't have to worry about trying to find any extra BBs, so I recommend using a 22. Doesn't matter really. Rabbit with a 22, it's everything is still harvestable, and it's, it does the job. It's quick. Rabbit's gonna be gone, and you don't have to worry about the meat getting spoiled like that. It's easy stuff. Easy stuff. I could talk about that if you guys, if we have any hunters, I can talk about recommended calibers. I've hunted everything from rabbits and ground squirrels to black bear and moose up in Alaska, and everything in between. And I've eaten most of it too. So, but yeah, kind of going back to what I was saying, gentlemen and ladies, if there are any ladies that have joined this stream, that the counts are going up and down. Yeah, I know how that feels. Even then, I struggle. But if there's a lady, if you have a daughter, if you have anything, if you want to include them in the conversation, like, please feel free to share this with them. Tell them what we're talking about. You can be honest. You can tell them they can ask me anything they want. I will not be offended. I've had people straight up come onto the streams and say things that are very not pro-gun, is how I'll word that, and I understand. And I actually try to engage it. I try to make sure that my loyal subscribers who are here most nights don't load on them, so to speak. But I try to engage in that conversation. I think it's an important conversation to have with people, because I think that the amendment and gun ownership is so crucial to us as a society, as an American society, but also like worldwide. Like, being able to defend yourself from violence, from tyranny, from oppression. I think that is one of the most important things that we have in our lives. So as I said, I have daughters. I really care about women being able to protect themselves. There are lots of very, very prominent liberal women that are on X and social media. And one of the things they say is, hey, I know that we don't agree with this politically, but you talk about how you're a proud, independent, single woman. I was like, I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not trying to do anything, but I would encourage you, if you ever want to talk, I won't be rude. I'll be very forthcoming and very like open and honest, but I would love to have a conversation, if you want to, about maybe even just the basics of firearm skills, because it is a great equalizer as a woman. I'm not saying that you're incapable of protecting yourself in other ways. I fully believe that women can do that. It's just that I also believe that firearms are the ultimate equalizer, especially for women. So, or elderly, however you want to view that. So again, sometimes people don't like that I take that view. There are even some people on the right, and Republicans and that are gun owners that ask, why when gun grabbers act that way, or why when the anti-2A, why do you take that approach? And I'm a really big believer in, I would rather listen to them, even if I disagree, that I'm able to have that conversation. I want to understand their perspective, because as a firearm owner, like, I'm not going to change my mind on gun ownership, but I want to be objective about why people feel the way that they do, and have empathy for that, because it's a lot easier to talk to people when you understand their concerns and their emotions, either their distaste or disapproval or hatred of firearms. No, Joel, that's an excellent point. There's a lot of states that you would think have, that are like constitutional carry, but they still have a lot of laws that you would go, where did that come from? Oh, yeah, that I understand that. Like it comes with time, Silas. It comes with time. We learn in precept upon precept, a little bit at a time. Can't drink from the fire hose, but learn how to drink from a sippy cup. So it's all about learning to be comfortable with the firearm. That's probably more than anything, is you're carrying something that. Let me make sure I emphasize this. If you have been to my channel and you've watched my videos, you know that when I'm using my guns and I'm doing things, I am doing goofy stuff. I'm chucking them across the room. I made one of my shotgun spatula and served my kids pizza. It was unloaded. It didn't have any firing pins. It didn't have a chamber that it could do anything. So it was like just a rod with a piece of wood on it. Like I have a lot of fun making my videos and doing things with guns. I walk around. I keep them stored in a place like my kids know where they are and they know the rules about them, and I keep them stored in a way that they are unlikely to do anything. But like, learn the importance of this is a very powerful tool and it can do a lot of things. That's always going to be the first step, like learning to respect it. Once you once you learn how to respect it, that to ask questions like, when am I allowed to shoot? When can I do this? How do I do this? And again, it's those little baby steps. And then you get to a point where you're like me and you make videos of drawing your gun, or you make video, you take your AK-47 and you throw it across the room into a pile of to make it look like you're trying to smash a spider. You learn to have fun with it, and you treat it with respect, but then you can't be fun. I've seen a lot of people say, you treat that firearm like it's loaded every single time. It's like, yes, you do, but you don't have to be so serious all the time about it. Like it's okay. I'm not going to handle any firearms, but you'll see in my videos, like when you treat them as this thing that's scary and is almost like horrific in its nature, then it creates the sense of fear. And that's not what we want people to feel about firearms. We don't want people to be afraid of guns. We want people to respect guns. We want people to know that you can respect something and still have fun with it. Like, you can make a joke about, what is it? If anybody's ever seen the show The Chosen, it's about Jesus. There's an episode where I can't remember who it is, but he's reprimanding somebody or whatever, and then like months later he says something and everybody looks at him and he says, "What? Too soon?" Like, that's what I mean. Like, you can make a joke about something that's serious without disrespecting it. No, and that's fine. Like, obviously you've seen in my videos, Repo, like I don't do that. Everybody, Repo is here in the chat. He's one of fairly regular guys, so give him some love. We're talking about gun laws and legislation. That would I guess if it wasn't doing it, if it was just chilling, it probably ignored you. But yeah, like respect the tool for what it is, but also don't be afraid to tell people that they can be a lot of fun and you can make a joke and you can do something. People do things that are fun all the time with guns. You can have fun with guns and you can not mistreat them, but you can use them in a way that it's fun. That you jumped over a rattlesnake, or that you're walking around with your dad and a gun. So, hey everybody! Wow, we had a big group. Oh, hey, what's going on, Pluto? Come, bud. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. So like even when we get people in here, I try to keep some of my regulars. Some of you are really good about it. Some of you aren't as good about it. But I try to keep you guys, like, if we get someone that comes and says something that's very, very not pro-gun, that's very opposed to gun ownership and the Second Amendment, I actually don't like it when we immediately jump on them. I try to get them to engage in conversation. They don't most of the time, but every once in a while I do get those conversations, and I think that that's an important thing to do so that we can talk. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, so it's just finding that balance of how you treat things and what your comfort level is. Like, obviously I wouldn't let my kids flip around a gun or throw it across the room. They don't know how to do that in a way that be safe. You can chuck a gun across a room if nobody's over there, if nobody's pointing the direction of it, if it's firing pins pulled out of it, chambers empty, and all, magazine in it. That all those steps. I know how to take those steps. I know how to do that because I've been doing this for a really long time. And I do it anytime I'm going to film a video. I take all of the necessary precautions to make sure that no one, that there's no way that anything bad can happen. I keep my firearms, you can see, like, they're all unloaded. They're all unloaded right now. They have magazines, they're not loaded. So, like, you learn how to do things properly. You learn how to have fun. You learn how to talk to people. And when you are serious all the time, it can be very intimidating. It can be very intense. But if you take a step back, take a breath, learn how to have fun. Yeah, so that's an interesting subject, Joel. So this is something that, people talk about Australia, they talk about the UK, they talk about Europe. That's really funny, Repo. That's probably not ever going to happen though, but it is funny. So like I've this with people. So arms control and arms censorship, and I say arms because it doesn't necessarily mean a firearm. It could mean, a club, a mace, a spear, a sword, a knife. That is not new to Europe. It hasn't been new to Europe in exactly Pluto. In Europe, like since 800 AD, you can trace it back. Like the aristocracies. Hey, what's going on, bud? It's actually been a really good conversation. We've had a lot of people coming in and out. Average, like, I think our high was like 50 at one point, and we've averaged from 10 to 20 tonight. So everybody, Practical Civilian's another creator. Go check him out. He's a really cool guy. He and his buddy just did a video, a 300. You did it on a Blackout Jackal, correct? I watched the video. I'm just trying to remember. Like in Europe, the aristocracies, the kings and queens and lords and whatever, the nobility, they would put laws in place like civilians, regular peasants couldn't own swords. They could own long knives, but unless they were a knight, they couldn't own swords because swords were weapons of war, and they had to be shorter than a sword. Like not even a short sword, had to be shorter than a short sword. It had to be made out of a different type of steel. Couldn't have a fuller, couldn't have a pommel at the end. It couldn't have like a cross guard on it. There were a bunch of like that have existed in Europe, in UK, in Scotland, even Vikings. Like people think about the Vikings and the folks from Norway and Russia, like all over Europe and Asia, they've had these laws that restrict who can own what type of arm. And the only people that didn't obey that were rebels. And that's why there's just, granted, our country's only for 500-600 years in terms of like the country that it has become. Like our actual country's obviously only been around since Declaration of Independence was 1776, 5-year war, 1781. The Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights and everything ratified until 1791. It took 10 years to actually ratify the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and everything. So Madison worked his ass off. Learn about constitutional history, everybody. Several times that we almost weren't a country. Like the fact that the Civil War took place in the 1800s, in the mid-1800s, and not shortly after the year 1800, there are many historians that have like followed the way that the founding fathers and the founding fathers that were alive during that time were shocked, absolutely shocked. But yeah, the rebels are the ones that had that, and that's why there's such a long history of wars and rebels and like people rising up and kings being deposed and new nobility coming, like because it was all about oppression and power. And our founding fathers saw that and they went, No, no. We're gonna let our people. We're gonna make sure that everyone knows, like we are gonna be like those other countries and our heritage. We're gonna make sure our people are armed, that they have the right to remain armed. Nobody can take that away from them. The government certainly can't. And if we start trying to do things, exactly what we did to England. They should absolutely do what we did to England, and they have the right to do it. And they have the right to possess every means to do so if it's an arm. And so that's why, when, like, just the simple fact, like from my perspective, my friends at Spartan Defense and like Boomstick Babe and Alicia Garcia, who's Alicia Garcia, and so they've never heard me talk like this because I mostly just do comedy stuff. That's why it's so important that we recognize that even things like the NFA, the National Firearms Act, the Brady Act, the things that prevent us from being able to own like machine guns, completely unconstitutional. There's no reason that we should not be able to possess the same arms as our government. 100% we should be allowed to. Now there's some argument to be made. There's that things that are not considered like a regular arm, like a 15, like an F-15 or an F-16, which is a vehicle that has arms on it. You have to specific training, and there has to be a way to maintain it. There's all kinds of things like nuclear weapons and biochemical weapons. Those are not arms. But the fact remains, like ground arms, like we should be able to possess anything the government has. And like I said, the other things that maybe are not considered regular arms, like aircraft and other more advanced things, I would even say to an extent, I would say that owning a tank should be legal if you want to, that fully functions. I kind of also think aircraft should be on there, but there are certain things that I understand why they are not. That's exactly what I mean. Is we should be able to protect ourselves. Every state has a national guard that can have possession things, but we should still, as regular citizens, be able to be our own militia, because the people are the militia that is referenced in the Second Amendment. That's who makes up the militia. It also, the Second Amendment basically says that we should always be able to have a militia that is separate from the state in order to maintain freedom from the state and of the state and for the state. So it's, yeah, 100%, Joel. That's an excellent thing to, like to give you an idea. There were during the revolutionary times, there were regular citizens that confiscated like entire forts full of cannons and like repeating arms. So people talk about, oh, the founding fathers had no idea. Yeah, the French and the Germans and lots of people, they had firearms that would use like a tune with flint on it, and it would be lit, and you would just it would just pull a tube magazine down. Like there were lots of, and like multi-barreled black powder rifles, like they existed. The founding fathers knew the automatic and as close to an automatic repeating arm was. Absolutely, on ships and everything. I do not believe. I believe that all gun laws are unconstitutional. Pluto. I don't care what the waiting period is. All right. The only thing that I can kind of this much get behind is like violent felons. Violent felons are about the only thing I can get behind. Violent domestic abusers. I can get behind that, because I think when you feel the need to take your anger or whatever out on your spouse, that you are less than a man, and you need to be punished for that. But like a dude that's like a white collar criminal, probably he's not gonna want to own a gun, but if he wants to, drug laws, there's a precedent to be had that like you're not supposed, like people can own firearms and drink. You can't carry a firearm and be drunk. That's against the law. Like if you're caught and you're under the influence and you have a firearm on you, like you're never gonna own a firearm again. So don't drink and carry a firearm. So could Could other Schedule 1 drugs like marijuana and everything? Like maybe, but until that's discussed and we're more realistic about constitutional law, I think there's a precedent for that, Repo. I think there is a precedent for that as long as it's not a violent crime. You know, where I struggle is right now, like with the drug thing, is because drugs are still illegal federally, and because there's so much violent crime that can arise from that particular subject. Until the drug thing is addressed properly, because there's a lot of states that are doing. I mean, if you ask me, I personally think that we should legalize all drugs and then just tax the crap out of it, because then the population and drug abusers will take care of themselves. It'll be pretty quick. There's gonna be an uptick, and people are gonna figure out real quick. Oh, if I do lots and lots of cocaine, it's gonna kill me. Like, I think that it'll clear itself up. Just like drink themselves under the table. People still drink themselves under the table, and it's terrible and it's awful and it affects families, and I hate it. Maybe nobody else has complained. J Dog is in the house. He's one of my moderators. I think, and Betta is in the house. Maybe it's my internet then, if it's being really slow and laggy. Okay, so it's mine. It's me. It's definitely. Sorry, I'm an IT guy, and I still haven't gotten my internet fixed downstairs in my basement. And I'm a network engineer. I should know how to do that. But who else still here? Maybe that's why everybody left. So they don't want to watch this choppy crap. Did I just freeze on everybody? Yeah. That's fair. It's fair. That's why I say I believe it is a great equalizer. No, and that's one of the other things, Joel, that I'm a big proponent of, is for men, because men don't get the mental health recognition that I think we deserve. Everyone cares a lot about women's mental health, and hold on just a second. Riley? Where are you?
What?
Were you using your blow dryer?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
I was just checking because I thought you were in the bathroom. It was getting really quiet and your lights are still on, so making sure that you were okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks,
Dad. Yeah, I think men are thrown under buses all the time, and I was just talking about that, J Dog. Yes, I have a poodle and I have a labradoodle, and they're both. She's huge for an American standard. Let people know. Let the men that you know, especially if you know that there are things that they're struggling with and they don't want to talk, send them my way. They their screen name. They can talk to me. They can talk Discord. They can message me. They can email me. They can get onto the Facebook page. They can talk to me in any way that they want. I have lots of resources at my disposal as a vet. I know I have a lot of buddies that are in law enforcement in a bunch of different states. I have ways of getting people help, and I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. Like, I'm a really good listener, and I know what it's like to feel like the washing down around you. I've been in some of the worst situations, alone, away from my family, not knowing how I feel, and how they feel, and if I'm a good father, and I've been there. There's dang near anything that I haven't experienced, that we haven't all experienced as men, but like I'm there for any of you, and for anyone you know. If they're struggling, throw them my way, please. I always have my phone. I always have access to my socials. Don't always pick it up on the overnight, but I will definitely I will respond within 12 hours. I'm almost always in where I can. I'm glad to hear that, Joel. It's one of those things. If you've seen my be a present father or be a good man or to all good men, I've done videos like that. I try to leave encouraging messages for the men that are out there. It is hard to be a kind father that shows love, but also protects knows how to protect their children without looking like a threat to the people around them. Because that's what people think when a father puts his arms around his family. Like people don't understand. We men, especially we men that are part of the community that we're a part of, that have experienced loss, that have seen horrible things, that understand the way the rules. We cherish peace, kindness, and love. But when that is threatened, we will show how not pacifist we are. People mistake. I know that I am mistaken. There have been people that have said things to me like, "Oh, you wouldn't do anything," and I was like, "I'm not going to do anything when you talk to me like that." Exactly. They mistake kindness and humility and peace as weakness. There's a far cry from a pacifist who cannot do anything and someone who is capable of extreme and incredible violence and is always choosing to not act upon that violence. I like to think I'm the second one. I'm fairly certain that I'm the one since I have enacted violence before. Yeah, no one. Like you see people say, "You're just looking for a reason to shoot someone," and I'm like, why would I want that? Why would I want to take someone's life, especially a normal human being? Being that I come from the military, when I view it a little differently when I'm dealing with like terrorists that have no problem going out and murdering people for no reason other than to just send a message. That is a subhuman to me. They don't really count, is what I'm saying in those situations. But like someone who's ill or who's sick or who's on drugs or whatever, who's and isn't in control of themselves, I don't want to have to hurt someone like that. I will if that's what's necessary, but I don't want to. You see, there's talks about teachers being armed and things like that. And like, I can't believe you support a teacher. A teacher would have to shoot a kid. And I was like, I would 100% if I have to choose between the kid who's trying to hurt everyone and a child who I might not even agree with. Maybe they dress up in a fox costume and run around and bark in the classroom. I'm still gonna protect that child, even though I think that's freaking weird. Over that kid who wants to hurt everybody, who wants to make a name for themselves, who doesn't appreciate that somebody called them a name once. Like, they forfeit. I will protect any child in that situation. And people don't grasp that. And it's like, you don't have to make the decision for me. I have already made the decision. And if I ever have to do that, I'm the one that has to live with it, not you. So until you're willing to live with that, don't freaking tell me what I can or can't or should or shouldn't think. Because I've made up my mind, and hopefully hopefully we never have to be in that situation. But if we are, one day you'll probably be glad because your kid will be around and somebody else might not. I've talked a little bit about this in the past, but this is something. Again, I have daughters, and when I was young, when I was about 13, I had a cousin, like a second cousin. Wasn't super close, but like close enough that I remember when this happened in Idaho, and she was abducted by a repeat offender who would abduct young ladies and do awful things to them. And then he would go to jail, and he would have good, and he would get out on parole. Well, he did that in like 3 or 4 other states. Well, he kidnapped my cousin, and he didn't just let her go. He kept her, and then he murdered her and he disposed of her in a very horrific way in the Snake River. This happened in like 1995, 96 in Idaho. You can look it up. And so I don't have any remorse or recourse for people that are like that. If you think that preying upon children is, and you're going to call it a sickness, yeah, well, I have a permanent solution to your sickness, and it's not, and it might not even be fair, but if that's who your victims are, you're not going to be around to see them, especially if you're around me. I have zero tolerance for that, and it hits. There's other things that have happened in my family where that is, it was a long time ago, and honestly, it's helped make me who I am and why I feel the way that I do. So while it is a horrific thing, it's definitely one of those things that that's not going to happen to my family again. At least not without a fight. And I'm grateful that I have those convictions and feelings now, because I'm horrified and I'm sad, and I know how it affected my family, and there's some people that don't agree with my take on it, that are even in me, and that's fine. I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna judge them for that. I think they're wrong, but I'm not gonna judge them harshly because it affected them. It's just how it affected me. I know how it affected me. I know how it affected most of my siblings. I know how it affected other siblings, and I will not sit by and be a sheep and let my children and other people's children be led to the slaughter by something like that because of it. Let me see if I can find that story. Think it's this. Yeah. Right here. Yep. Jerry Lee Underwood. So that's her. That's the story. So if you ever do not disagree with that sentiment, Joel. So yeah, if that's my young cousin. So it was shoot. It's been almost. I think it's been a long time. It is also below average Utah dad. I'm a dense dude, so I try to keep things simple. So I mean, like I said, it wasn't an immediate cousin of mine. It was like a second cousin. We were a little bit removed, but like she's someone that I recall, like family reunions. You know, I grew up LDS, and so family reunions, big deal in the Mormon church, and like everybody just like there's lots and lots of cousins and everything. So yeah, if you go to my Facebook page, you should see I've got a bunch of links on my Facebook page. You can see you can reach out to Boomstick Babe, Spartan Defense, or Second Syndicate, and they have links that you can sign up for things, and everything's going to kick off. So you can also sign up to testify. and I highly encourage everybody to sign up to testify so that you can get up there and testify, and make sure your voice is heard and known in Colorado. Thank you, J-Dog. It's long, but it was pretty fun. So you've seen some of the shorts. Imagine that, but way more. And it's mostly my kids, so it was really fun for me to go and take them. I shoot like 3 or 4 of my guns a little bit, but mostly it was my kids and getting them familiar with it. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's kind of my take on things when it comes to why the Second Amendment is so important to me. Like aside from the very constitutionally based like history of it, especially compared to the rest of the world. My family's experienced some really bad things. Luckily, none of my wife and my kids, none of us have experienced it, but there was some stuff that happened that I like it. Did you which you have a micro, right? Or do you just have a Glock? You have a 19X. Because that trigger will fit a 19X. Yeah, it's not specific to PSA. It's you can put that trigger. It's a drop-in trigger. You can put it into a 19, a 17, a 19X. Yeah, go for it. It's a team tactical. Yeah. I lived in Arizona for a long time. Speaking of Colorado, when you look at California, how can people think less guns are the solution? Zombieland California is in the state. It's a curve. Because they look to their leaders that they elect. Like really, that's what it comes down to. Repo is they look to leaders that they elect. Their leaders are supposed to be looking out for them. Well, the leaders, whatever strange way that they have decided that this is the best way to do it, they don't look objectively. They look at it subjectively. They say, well, I don't own guns. I don't need guns to be protected. I rely on the police because they're surrounded by police and guns all day. So they don't think clearly about it. They think that it's fine for them. The police can respond and save them. Right after they say that, like somebody with a semi-automatic firearm can dump 30 rounds in 20 seconds or in 10 seconds. Yeah, don't buy that one. Buy the you can click on Glock parts or you can click on handgun parts and you buy the it's called TF Tactical short pull SRSP like 2.0 lightning trigger. It's nice. It's really nice. So it's not a name brand, but in your 19X it'll be smooth. Yeah. Oh, so Joel, I may have mentioned this. I don't know. So when I was an active Mormon, I went on my mission to Chicago. So I was in. I know that's not anywhere near Springfield, but I mean, I was up in like Rutherford and Belvedere and Schaumburg and like downtown Chicago. So I did like Centerville, all that. So I am very aware of how crazy, even out in the sticks, like it's crazy. People are restricted from being. Who's regular Canadian dad? Is there someone in here called regular Canadian dad? Someone in there? I just see you, J-Dog, Joel, and Repa. I think we've lost everybody else. Regular Canadian dad. I don't know. Does he follow me? I know I have like 30 followers. Sorry guys, just trying to help Betta out. me see if I can find. Okay, here we go. You scroll down, Beta, to yeah, because they're semi-automatic. Yeah, I'm still, because Facebook page isn't like an individual Facebook page, because it's like a personality / business is how I had to set it up. It shows a little weird, so I don't see all regular followers the way I think I normally would. 100% right, dog woman. But Beta, you're looking for the post from March 8th, and it's a share that I did from, it's either Syndicate or Spartan Defense Armory. If you scroll down or scroll up, I think it depends on how your orientation is. Yeah, just a lot of silly things depending on the state that you're in, and they, yeah, they're doing it, in their mind they're doing it from a place of to be safe, but they don't wrap their head around, and maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I sometimes do that. Maybe by saying they ride around, maybe they know exactly what they're doing, and they're like, we want them to be completely oppressed, so there's always a way for us to stay, because as long as something happens, yeah, cool stuff. Also encourage that. No, I hear you. Super encourage people to like learn how to do certain basic skills, just so that you are self-reliant. Um, I'm not saying go out and give yourself stitches. Maybe learn how to do stitches. Um, Use like a pork. That's what I would recommend. Like a pork belly. Cut a pork belly and then stitch it back up. Yes, it can. Learn how to build a fire with sticks or a bow drill. Learn how to build shelter. What are some other things? If you've never cleaned and dressed an animal of some kind, I don't care if it's fish, I don't care if it's chicken, I don't care if it's a rabbit, do it. Learn how to do it. Because, like, I don't think any zombie apocalypse type situation is ever really going to come. Exactly. But I think that things are going to get a little crazy in the next like 3 to 4 years. I think when things kick off with China, because I'm about 85% certain that they will. Take that for what it's worth, everybody. I think we're going to see some strange things happen here in our country. I think there's going to be some people that are very supportive of the Chinese Communist Party and China's stand, and I think that they will act out against regular everyday people. I think that's a very strong possibility. And so you saw within this year, just tonight, Ukraine attacked. Oh, I don't think China's in a position quite yet. China's playing the catch-up game with their capabilities as far as kinetically. That's the big thing, is military kinetics. Like cyber, they're not bad. I'm not saying that we're better. I'm not saying that we're worse. I'm not in a position to do that. But they put a lot of time and money into their cyber game. So I think the communications are going to be rough during that time. I think that our structure, like, as I have solar and I'm getting battery packs put in, I think that yeah, that's true. They don't have, so don't displace things the way that we do. What they have a lot of, and you can watch some videos that are out there that go military might. HLC, Habitual Line Crosser, does a lot of stuff. It's part of what his role is. They have a lot of missiles, like a ton of missiles. I censored myself so that this doesn't get flagged. But yeah, like they have tons. Yeah, it's just like, and their manpower. They have tons of manpower. And they're going to be able to, because what's going to happen is they're going to take Taiwan, and they're going to take Taiwan. They'll take it. And it's going to be a fight to get Taiwan back. And so then, like, it's a lot easier to defend something than it is to attack something. And so that's what they're going to be doing, is they're going to be defending Taiwan from whoever gets involved. And they're going to be able to reach out and make it very hard for us and our allies to retake Taiwan. That's if that shooting match starts. I think that's probably going to start. I think that it will happen, not this year, but I think in the next 3 to 4 years. I hope so. It, like, that infrastructure and capability needs to be here. Yeah, 100% repo. So, exactly. Anyways, guys, I have to get up in like 5 hours, as usual. I have to work. So I'm going to do my thing. We're going to let Snecky take over. You guys can continue to eat room, have those discussions. If anybody hops in that's new, let them know. Thanks for listening. I hope that everybody enjoyed our conversations tonight. We had a lot of people for like, I think almost like 35, 40 minutes. We had like 20 more people in here that were asking questions. Continue to comment, like, share, subscribe, bring your friends. That's what helps. The guys that I was doing a stream with today, where I was trying to get a stream to work through theirs. Beto was there, and he was like, "What happened?" And his thing, yeah, ring the bell. But that's the best to help us fight. Like, already, like, I hit 2,000 subscribers, and all my videos started going to like less than 1,000 views. I don't know if you noticed, but I went from having like 25,000, 30,000 views per video to having like views. So the other day I was at like 600,000 views in 28 days, and now I'm down to like below 500,000 views in 28 days, which is not, like, that's not ideal. Yeah, the more subscribers I get, the more they throttle how they spread it, because they're going to rely on my subscribers to spread and watch and do things. So if you want to help me, but other 2A channels, like, that's how you do it, is you share, you get other people to subscribe, you like all the videos, you ring the bell, you share the videos, you comment. Comments are big. Exactly. New subscribers help push. So yeah, if you guys want to continue to help out myself and other creators that do stuff like this, even the ones that you've been watching for a long time, go and share their videos every once in a while. Smaller guys share more often. Bigger guys don't have to worry about it quite as much. But yeah, like, YouTube really does not want to use it. Like, they want to get the money, but they don't want us to, like, at this point, like, the big people, they're going to make money on those channels no matter what, because people will continue to watch their video. Every time they put one video out, they're going to make YouTube's going to make tons of money. But they don't necessarily want this to grow. It's pretty, and the best way to give that to YouTube is to help us grow. Because once we get to a certain stage, they can't stop us from growing. They can't stop our content from spreading. So long form videos, shorts. Your friend, if you've got friends that are into guns, like do everything you can to convince them. Just be like, YouTube tries to like squash the Constitution, squash First Amendment rights, squash the Second Amendment. If you want to help that, yeah, like freaking throw them my way. Do whatever you can. Help other YouTubers, help myself, and I'll see you, all you wonderful people, probably tomorrow. So just so you guys know, if I'm going to live stream, I'll do a short or I'll put a post that goes out to you guys. Just a message that says, hey, we're not going to do a live stream tonight. But if you don't see that, there will be a live stream. It might not be 2 hours. It might only be 30 minutes. But thanks, Pluto. I appreciate it. And then, like I said, even people that are even gentlemen and people in your lives that are having mental health issues, especially if they're into this kind of thing, especially men, can just shit on. Yeah, I will certainly do that, bud. Let's go like this. I'm gonna have to shut down my chat. I won't be able to see. Well, I can do it on here. You guys liked the range sounds last time? Well, yeah, because that was the day I went to the range. So I was like, oh, that'll be funny. I'll put on the range sounds, and they'll be like, what are they doing? And I left them and said, I'm going to the range. Is he streaming from the range, but Snecky is on the screen? How's that working? But then I know there was like fully automatic fire, so. Okay, I'm gonna shut off this, and let's do this. Hours of gunshots. My kids are asleep, so I can't do it. Do you guys want random, or do you want just long rifles? What do you guys want tonight? Random. Okay. Can you guys hear it? Okay. I'll leave it there. Here's Snick. All right, guys. Have a good night. It'll go till the iPad dies. Okay. Let's go.